Everyone wants to start the next tech company. Meanwhile, some plumbing business owners are quietly building fortunes, not because plumbing is glamorous, not because it's easy, but because the math is unbelievably good. Today, we're going to dissect the numbers behind a plumbing business and find out why one of the least talked about industries may be one of the biggest financial opportunities hiding in plain sight. In a world obsessed with digital startups and AI, the trades have become the overlooked asset class. But when we run the numbers on a plumbing company in the United States, we find margins and demand that most software founders would envy. We are going to break down the startup capital, the revenue per hour, the job costs, and the scaling potential. The startup costs, the barrier to entry. Why is plumbing a gold mine? Because the barrier to entry is high. This filters out the competition. You cannot just wake up and start a plumbing business. You need licenses, insurance, and skills. Let's look at the startup capital required for a solo operator in the US. 1. The work vehicle. You cannot use a sedan. You need a cargo van or a pickup truck with a topper. A used Ford Transit or Chevy Express in decent condition costs $20,000 to $30,000. 2. Tools and equipment. This is your factory. You need pipe wrenches, channel locks, a sewer machine for drains, a leak detection kit, and safety gear. A solid starter set of professional tools costs $10,000 to $15,000. 3. Licensing and legal. In most US states, you need a master plumber license or a contractor license. This requires years of apprenticeship and passing an exam. The license application, bond, and insurance down payment cost roughly $2,000 to $4,000. 4. Marketing and office. You need a website, a Google business profile, invoicing software like ServiceTitan or Housecall Pro, and a phone line. Initial setup, $2,000. The startup math summary: vehicle, $25,000. Tools, $12,000. Licensing, $3,000. Marketing, $2,000. Total startup capital, $42,000. This is a real investment. It is not the $100 startup we hear about online. This capital requirement protects the market. It stops the get-rich-quick crowd from entering. If you have the skills and the capital, you are already in the top 10% of the competition. The revenue per hour, the service call math. Now let's look at the revenue. This is where the math gets exciting. Plumbers do not get paid minimum wage. They get paid for solving urgent problems. There are two main pricing models: time and materials, or flat rate. Sophisticated businesses use flat rate. This means you charge a price for the solution, not the hours worked. The service call. A standard service call fee just for showing up at the door is $75 to $150. This covers the diagnosis. If the customer wants the fix, that fee is often rolled into the total price. The hourly effective rate. Let's say you clear a simple drain clog. Price to customer, $250. Time taken, 45 minutes. Revenue, $250. Effective hourly rate, $333 per hour. Let's say you replace a garbage disposal. Price to customer, $400. Time taken, 1.5 hours. Revenue, $400. Effective hourly rate, $266 per hour. Compare this to a high-end consultant or a corporate manager. A skilled plumber working efficiently can build $200 to $400 per hour in revenue. Even if you are slow in learning, hitting $150 per hour in revenue is standard. This high hourly rate is the engine, but revenue is vanity. We have to look at the costs. The job math, the water heater installation. Let's dissect a common job, installing a standard 50-gallon gas water heater. This is a bread and butter job for many plumbers. The price. The average market price for this installation in the US is $1,800 to $2,200. Let's use $2,000 as our revenue number. The costs. A standard 50-gallon water heater from a supply house costs roughly $600. Needed materials like copper pipe, gas fittings, and a new shutoff valve cost $100. Permit fee from the city, $100. Total cost of goods sold, $800. Revenue, $2,000. COGS, $800. Gross profit, $1,200. The time. This job takes about 3 to 4 hours for a pro. Let's say 4 hours including drive time and cleanup. Gross profit per hour, $300. You made $1,200 in gross profit in half a day. Now, deduct your overheads like gas, insurance, and office costs. We will say overhead is $100 for that time frame. Net profit from this single job, $1,100. If you do one of these jobs a day, you are generating $22,000 a month in net profit. The math works because you are selling a solution to a critical problem. The customer isn't paying for the pipe, they are paying for the hot shower. Understanding the value of your service is the key to wealth in the trades. Once you see the profit margin on a single job, you realize this is a serious business. It's all about growth from here. Hit that subscribe if you're ready to level up your strategy. The overhead, the monthly burn rate. To run this business, you have fixed costs every month whether you work or not. The monthly burn rate, insurance, general liability and commercial auto costs roughly $300 to $500. Fuel, vans burn a lot of gas, $600. Software, CRM and scheduling tools cost $200. Vehicle payment, $500. Phone and internet, $100. Marketing, $500 to keep leads flowing. Total monthly overhead, $2,400. This is your nut. You need to make $2,400 a month before you pay yourself a dime. But remember, a single water heater job nets you $1,100. You only need to do 2 to 3 jobs a month to cover your entire business overhead. Everything else is profit. In a digital business like print on demand, you might need 100 sales to cover overhead. In plumbing, you need 3 sales. This is the power of high-ticket services. The real money. Scaling with employees. The Goldmine isn't just being a plumber, it is being a plumbing business owner. If you are the one turning the wrench, you are limited by your own hours. You can work 60 hours a week, but you will hit a ceiling. The real wealth comes from scaling. The employee math. Let's say you hire a journeyman plumber. Salary, $60,000 to $80,000 a year, or roughly $30 to $35 per hour. You also pay payroll taxes and workers' comp. The total cost to you is roughly $45 per hour. The profit split. The employee generates $250 per hour in revenue. You pay them $45 per hour. You pay for materials and overhead. You are left with the spread. The weekly math. An employee bills out 30 hours a week at a $200 average ticket per hour. Total revenue per week, $6,000. Labor cost, $1,350. COGS and overhead, $1,500. Net profit per week, $3,150. That is $12,000 a month in profit from one employee. If you have 3 trucks on the road, you are running a $1 million business with $300,000 to $400,000 in net profit. This is why plumbing companies are the silent millionaires of the economy. They sell time and they buy time at a discount. The risks. The physical toll. The math is incredible, but there is a cost that numbers on a spreadsheet cannot show. The physical toll. Plumbing is hard labor. You are under sinks and crawl spaces on roofs and in attics. You are dealing with sewage, gas lines, and heavy water heaters. Burnout is real. Back problems are real. Unlike a digital business where the inventory is files on a computer, here your body is the engine. If you get injured, the business stops. Workers' compensation claims can hurt your insurance premiums. You have to price your jobs high enough to cover the risk of your own physical deterioration. The verdict: is it worth it? Absolutely. The barrier to entry keeps the market clean. The demand is inelastic. People will always need water and pipes will always break. The margins are high. You are not fighting over pennies like in e-commerce. A solo plumber can make $150,000 to $200,000 a year take-home if they are efficient. A business owner with a fleet can make 7 figures. The final math. Startup cost, $40,000. Potential revenue. Year 1, $250,000. Potential net profit, $120,000. This is an ROI of 300% in the first year. Very few investments in the world offer that kind of return. Plumbing isn't just a trade, it is a cash flow machine. It requires skill, grit, and capital to start. But once the engine is running, the math is undeniably in your favor. While everyone else is chasing the next viral trend, the real wealth is being built in the trenches, one pipe at a time. If this breakdown helped you see the value in the trades, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see the math behind other hidden industries, hit that subscribe button. We have a lot more to uncover.